How's everybody doing today? Good. Can you see me well, Mom? We are actually webcasting at this very moment.
I'll be on YouTube.
Her mom is right here, so, sort of pointless to wait. Well, thanks to the generous funding and support of General Counsel, Swedenborgiancommunity.org has been online for about 2 years. And 3? Okay, 3. I stand corrected. During that time, we've spent the last 2 years, 2.5 years, and even before when we were developing the concept, of really thinking about what the meaning of community and church actually is. And I think that we are moving in new and exciting directions. And that there's a lot of possibility there. One of the things that we have noticed, now that we have some history under our belt, that the participation is actually very similar to a physical church. Christmas and Easter, we sort of get those peaks, and then in the summer it sort of dwindles off until the fall, and folks start participating more and more in the build-up to Advent. Remarkably, we have 432 registered users on our website, which is pretty significant. And there's how many in the room? Good idea. Who is a registered user of Swedenborgiancommunity.org? Stand up so we can see you. Thank you. Now for a little bit of trivia and fun. If the person who comes closest to the largest number of monthly hits that we've had, you get a free frisbee. I'll tell you, it was in March of this year during Easter. The Holy Week program that Reverend Wilmo put together was absolutely fantastic. Any guesses?
300.
Less than 1.2 million. 11,000. Any other guesses? 3,000.
She says 14.
14,000. We have a winner. 14,385. That was pretty close. I didn't practice enough, I guess. So a couple of the things, I'll put on a couple of the highlights that we have done in our programming over the past year. One of the first things that I want to talk about is the messenger authors that we have had come online to do some speaking in our chat room and discuss further the articles that have been ably presented by her in the messenger. One of the lessons that we learned from that practice is that our Thursday evening chats at 9 p.m. Eastern sort of leaves out a bit of our target audience. So starting July 7th, we are actually opening up a Tuesday evening chat at 8 p.m. Eastern.
No, 8 p.m. Pacific.
8 p.m. Pacific. See, I'm still jet lagged. So it's actually 11 p.m. Eastern so that we can capture some of our crowd members over here on the West Coast. As part of our focus for the coming year, we are scheduling a guest lecture series that will begin in September, and we will actually announce the slate of all the guest lectures in the September messenger, and they will be speaking or in our chat room speaking on the second Tuesday and the third Thursday of the month. One of the other focuses of our programming for this year is an expansion of our Prayer Partners program that we did this past just after Advent, the beginning of the new year. And all these fantastic leads, I'm going to let my favorite Aunt Susan speak about the prayer program that we're getting ready to implement.
I'm going to say Stephen. Who among us cannot provide at least one example of the power of prayer? Prayer is the foundation of our connection with the Lord in one of the many ways that we can connect with each other. It is the goal of the Swedenborgian online community to increase the power and personal nature of the prayers of the many Swedenborgians around the globe. We have established a special email address, prayer@swedenborgiancommunity.org, and have at least one person. We would like to have at least one person from each of our churches, committees, and support units to unite electronically and form an ever-increasing denominational circle. This group would include the church representatives, the steering committee, and our Reverend Wilma. People from this primary circle would identify prayer needs around the continent and the world and forward them to the special email where they would be gathered together and forwarded to the entire circle for special prayers. To sign up for this group, please visit our table outside this room. We hope a lot of you do. Part of our future objective will include a time once each week in our fellowship chat room where we will exchange information, receive updates on those who have been prayed for, and provide support for each other. Prayers would not only be for those who are ill, but for those who are depressed or worried or in any way need to be prayed for. Once we get going, and if people are receptive, connections could be identified to other members with similar problems within convention, and in a confidential manner, and a small interdenominational support group could be created. But this is only a possibility that we're working towards for the future when and if we can find another clergy person to help out. We are officially announcing this new project of ours here at convention because there's so many of you present to hear what we're doing, and it will also allow all of you to bring the good news home to your congregations. In addition, our web store will also be starting to sell prayer shawls towards the end of July, and we hope that many of you will participate. All the shawls will be different and unique, just like we are, and most of them will be an average size of 24 by 72 inches and will have fringes on them. We are encouraging all folks who have prayer shawls, who have Swedenborgians, or anybody else who is special to them, to touch the shawl, bless it, or whatever feels comfortable to them, allowing people to take their shawls to shut-ins and others in need of prayer, so that they might be able to share in the feeling of God's comfort and healing even more. And you'll be seeing our prayer shawls at convention next year in St. Paul. Since we don't have our prayer shawls for convention this year, the Swedenborgian community is going to be handing out prayer beads. If anyone who feels that they are in need of prayer, please see one of the members of our steering committee. We will say a prayer for you, make a connection with God, and give you some beads. During convention, if you encounter anyone else in need of prayer, please pray for them and then give them your beads. We have an entire gross of beads, and we want to use all of them. The object is not to keep them or forget them and leave them in your room, but we want them to give them away and help us pray for others so they can pray for us. So if you have beads and see someone without, say a small prayer, bring God to that moment and give them your beads. Help us to help you to bring the Lord into your lives and the lives of others. It's time for everyone to push, P-U-S-H, pray until something happens. For additional information on our prayer program or any other program of the Swedenborgian community, please contact Reverend Wilma or any member of the steering committee. And if you find this to be a meaningful part of your convention experience, please consider making a contribution to our ministry, which you can do right up there at the table. These Cyber Samaritans are here to help. Amen. No, these are not Mardi Gras beads.
I'll do that here in a moment. I did want to say, again, thank you to General Counsel and to Chris for all of her support as we started on this new ministry and new direction in our church. I also invite you to stop by the table and ask any questions you might have. We do have fun frisbees for sale that you can take back to your physical communities. And we also have t-shirts. And we actually also started an online store where we have several items, including books that we will be using for discussions throughout the year. Do we have any questions about the website, the church, the community, the direction we're going?
What was the address again?
The address is www.swedenborgiancommunity.org. It's a long one. It's 28 letters, in fact, and definitely does not fit onto a frisbee. Hence the cost. Thank you all. Yes, sir.
Sure. Do you use PayPal or do you use
We're only using PayPal right now, but that's a microphone.
Right now, we're only using PayPal. As we gain a little more experience, we will be looking at other venues. Any other questions? Great. Thank you very much.
Okay, we're going to just turn to stage rearranging because we have two announcements.